Tabitha, as a parent, we all know that kids grow so darn fast, and it's really hard to know when the right time is to take your kid out of a car seat and put him into a booster seat. So help us understand when that timing is.
Well, that's really easy. When they've outgrown their harnessed car seat, that's when it's time to move to a booster seat. So you can tell if they have moved, if they need to move to a booster seat by looking at the labels on their harnessed car seat. There are weight and height limits. So once they've outgrown those, then they need to move to a booster seat. Typically happens between 4 and 8 years old.
Okay, all right, so look at the instructions on your specific seat.
Yes.
Okay, and speaking of specific seats, there are different types of booster seats. You have a couple here in the car, so tell us what we have today.
I do. I have a high back booster seat, which is generally used if you don't have really good headrest protection in your existing vehicle. Otherwise, a backless booster, or sometimes called a no-back booster, is also in the car here, and that's what I'll be demonstrating on today.
Okay, and the no-back booster, I think that's probably the most common one that we usually see, right?
Yeah, it
okay.
really is.
All right, so for a child in a standard car seat, we know that there's really specific ways that a parent's supposed to be strapping in a kid. But what about a booster seat? How do we know if our child is sitting properly in that?
Yeah, so most booster seats actually just sit in the vehicle. It's more about how you buckle the child in rather than installing the booster seat. So what I'm going to do here is buckle the kiddo in. So what you want to watch for when you're buckling them in is you want to go underneath both armrests, is how most of them work. And then what that does is keep the seat belt low on the kiddo's hips and puts the shoulder belt across their chest and across their shoulder. So by keeping this low on their hips and off of their belly, then it keeps them in place and it keeps from having any abdominal damage. Okay. Is what can happen if the lap belt is on the midsection. And then the shoulder belt holds them in place. So I wanted to show you what we do, just putting the kiddo in who needs to be in a booster seat. Let me show you what it looks like if a kiddo moves too soon to a lap and shoulder belt. So as you can see, this is more on the kiddo's belly than on their hips. And it also, the shoulder belt cuts across their neck up here. And so kiddos get a little impatient and uncomfortable when the seatbelt cuts across their neck like that. So they'll put the seatbelt behind them or under their arm, which really leaves them very vulnerable. It doesn't keep them in place. So it's definitely best to use the booster seat. You can tell when it's time to move out of the booster seat if their feet are flat on the floor. But in the booster seat, you can see their legs go easily over the end, and then again, you want to look at that shoulder positioning system.
Now, if parents watching have more questions and they want to know more perhaps about car seats and how they fit, and maybe they even have other questions too about just child car safety, there's a great event they can actually take advantage of.
Yes, actually, we have Seat Check Saturday coming up, and here in the Treasure Valley in Meridian, hosted by Meridian Fire. It's from 10 to 2. And you can just go out, you don't need an appointment or anything, and have your car seat or your booster seat checked. And if you aren't able to make it out to Seat Check Saturday, we have 90 check stations across the state, and so you can just call and make an appointment that works with your schedule.
Wonderful, and where can people go to learn more?
They can go to shift-idaho.org/child safety for all of their car seat needs.